Hello and welcome to your weekly Spirit of the Soul show. It's Power Coach Alicia here, and today we are talking all about the secret to choosing acceptance. I don't know what happened on my last week's live. It says this is the one that I did last week, but it's not. I don't know what that is all about because last week we talked all about relinquishing control, right? So I don't know. But anyways, this is our final week of our Let It Go series for November 2024. And we are exploring acceptance as the foundation for our authentic change rather than this like passive pressure resignation of this is what it is, this is how it is, this is how it feels, I just have to accept it. We're going to be shifting into this in the power of the acceptance, the choice of acceptance, and the secret to actually choosing it instead of feeling like you were forced there. Hey, Julie, welcome in. Yes, if you are live with me, shout out hashtag live party in the comments. If you are watching this on replay, it'll be hashtag after party. Let's see. Oh, I always forget that this puts it on my profile here. Woot. All right, I just got to share it in one place. And then we are fully ready to go. If you'll drop hashtag November in the comments, that will get you the free Let It Go guide that has deeper dive journal prompts from each of, or from this session today. Dive in, answer some really powerful questions, really help you integrate what you are learning today as well. All right, I'm gonna pull up my notes. This is just really, really weird. Today is day one of Mercury retrograde. It absolutely has to be day one of Mercury retrograde because I log in and the system says, I'll address that in a second, Julie. I log in and the system says, last week I already did this session. When I open it all up, it has all of my notes for that session that I went live, all the comments for that session, everything was already done for this session, says last week. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, I do all my notes and have them mapped out, like my outline and all of that, a month ahead of time, so that when I come to session, my notes are here and I can drop in. Guess what? My notes aren't here for this session. I have no notes for this session except for like quick little lines, which is fine. It's fine, but that's not the point. It's the point of I will not allow Mercury retrograde to fuck me up today. Although it's trying in communication and in technology, I'm not allowing it. Why? Because I have a fucking choice, right? Here we go. If I don't blow something up today, we will call that a win. Okay. The secret of choosing acceptance. A lot of times we look at acceptance like, whatever. This is what it is. This is how it is. This is how it goes. This is da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. And it's usually this like defeat sort of energy and attitude towards it. It's like I have no other choice. This is what it is. And I either accept it or fill in the blank, the types of things that you say, right? And today we're going to talk about rewriting that idea of this what is it? This kind of like this finite sort of attitude, like it's an either or, it's black or white, it's up or down, it's go or stop, it's yes or no, right? And this is coming from someone who, if you listen to the past sessions of this month, I am a type A personality. I do like to be in control. I like to know how things are going to go and what the result of that is going to be, or I use a lot of logic and practicality. And when you are in life and you are growing, you're learning, you're evolving, and you're doing that with other people, there has to be a level of surrender of the unknown, the embrace of change, the willingness to go with the flow and it be okay that you're not controlling it. And it's hard to do if you are type A. It's hard to do if you want to be in the driver's seat, because also while being in the driver's seat, you're also asking other people to step the fuck up. And if they don't step up, then you're frustrated with them that they didn't step up. But they can't step up because you're in the fucking way. Man, I'm reminded of this like every day right now. I swear to God, every time I turn around, I'm being reminded that other people cannot step up because I'm in the way. It's like I'm asking for something, but standing in the space that they need to be in order to deliver that. Or they're starting to deliver it and I step forward and it's like I take over it in a way. And I'm not talking about literally, I'm talking about figuratively how I step forward and I'm in the middle, right? And that was, that goes along with last week's relinquishing control, but I don't have to look at that and go, huh, okay, well, I just got to accept it because at least you're doing something nice for me. No, 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 no. I want to choose acceptance. I want to rewrite. You know what? No, actually, do what you were planning on doing. I don't need to get in the middle of that. I don't need to change what you're doing. I don't need to control what you're doing. I'm going to accept this awesome thing that you're doing for me. I'm going to accept how you're showing up right now for us. I'm going to accept the effort that you're making right now. And in acceptance, I'm also going to show gratitude for that, right? Yes. I am absolutely one of those people. This is funny. I'm so glad that you brought this up today. One of those people that decorates before Thanksgiving, Julie says. So my whole life, we did Halloween decorations at the beginning of October. Then we would do fall for 3 weeks or whatever, the 4 weeks of November up to Thanksgiving. And then we would decorate for Christmas on Black Friday weekend, my whole life. And it was just like what I was taught. And I love Christmas. It's my favorite season. I would have like a whole room dedicated to being a Christmas room if I didn't have a whole room dedicated to being like my craft crystal room, right? So anyways, COVID happened and it was just a really shitty year. And my soul is really dark. If you missed last week's session of relinquishing control, you should go listen to that. How my soul got dark, I tell you on that session. My soul was really dark and I was having just an extremely hard time. So that year, 2020, I decided to decorate for fall in August because I felt like I was ready for fall and my house and my soul needed a brightness. So we decorated for fall in August. And then in September, mid-September, we decorated for Halloween. Now we go all in on decorations. I think I have 20 plus boxes of Christmas stuff. Like it takes, a chunk of time to get the inside and outside done. It's usually about a 2-week escapade within schedules and life and working and all the other things. It usually takes about 2 weeks to get everything done. So I kind of shifted this entire schedule then where mid-September we decorated for Halloween. And then we took down Halloween always usually at the beginning of November. And there's this little lull, which I hate. We used to actually redecorate for fall again for the 3 weeks and then back to Christmas. And then I decided, fuck everybody and their opinions on when I should and should not decorate for Christmas. I do whatever the fuck I want. I don't give a fuck about Thanksgiving. I'm thankful every single day. I generally don't like the food. It's not really a holiday that's for me. So I do for me what feels good in my soul. And I kind of have this attitude that anybody who doesn't think I should do that, or like my family doesn't like it, not my in-house family. My in-house family likes it. They have to just accept it. And if they don't like it, I've given every single one of them permission to move out during the holiday seasons. But I decided that it was for me, and I get shit for it every single year. People have something to say about it. And I think it's funny because I think it's interesting how if we go back to last week's relinquish control session, and I'm not saying you're doing this, Julie, but it's like this big thing that people believe that other people should do what they think they should do at the time they think they should do it. So again, not saying that this is your thought process, Julie, but it is huge around holiday decoration. People are pissed that, stores have stuff out early. People are pissed that people decorate early. And it's like, maybe people decorate early because that's what brings them joy. And I was thinking about this yesterday, that it's funny how people view things differently. The majority of people hate Christmas time. That's probably why they get all stuffy about the fact that I decorate early. They don't like Christmas time. They don't like the energy that Christmas time brings. They don't like how it feels. They say that everybody's attitude infested and rude and there are all these negative things. And when you ask me why I love Christmas, it's because it's the time of year that I see everyone being nice to each other, that I see love, that I see oneness in the people around us, that I see joy. And people hate Christmas because they see it the complete opposite way of me. And I think that that is so fucking crazy. It's so nuts to me. It's so nuts that we're both in the same spaces, but I'm seeing the positive and the good in the people and how people show up and band together and give to each other, and the love, and that when you're out in public and you're shopping, how people are just more willing to help you or even just have a conversation with you where they would never do that before. It's one of my favorite times of year because I feel like people see each other as humans. So I digress from my Christmas decor. It'll always be like this because I fucking love it. And hopefully one day I can decorate early and someone goes, "That's so cool that you do that." And it brings you so much joy instead of, "I can't believe you decorate so early," or "I can't believe you're doing that before Thanksgiving." Or in my other house that I live in, they said, "You'll be lucky if Graham allows you to decorate early." I thought that was funny. When someone actually believes that a man is going to control me and whether or not I'm decorating early and what the fuck I do. Anybody who knows me knows when it comes to holidays, I don't give a fucking shit what you think. I do whatever the fuck I want that brings my soul joy. And if you don't like it, you can just stay out of my life for that time. I'm not going to change that. So they have to choose acceptance. See what I did there? You see how I wrapped that back around? They have to choose acceptance or not. I literally, I don't give a fuck. I remember it was probably 2 years, probably 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. Daniel is a nightmare every year around the holidays. And when I say around the holidays, it would like start in August and it would just get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And he didn't have a bad childhood at Christmas time. It wasn't anything like that. It's not like he got beat all through the Christmas and holiday season and it was this trigger. It was nothing like that. It's pretty much like the rest of you who just hate the holiday because of money or because your ideas of everybody's attitude infested. So let me challenge you really quick. Every one of you that have that kind of attitude that, the holidays is the dark side, I want you to choose acceptance this year. Acceptance of when people decorate and early and da-da-da. But I also want you to choose to see the joy, the positive, the light. Nobody's making you spend money. That's where you choose to focus your energy. You don't have to spend a goddamn thing for Christmas. You could write every single fucking person in your life a letter about how much they mean to you, and that could be their gift. It's your thought that you need to spend more money is why that's how you view Christmas. What do you want to do different? How do you want to show up differently? Why not embrace the joy of this season this year instead of fighting against it and see how fucking amazing it is? Anyways, 2018, 2019, Daniel was on his fucking shit again. We're coming into the Christmas season. He's bitching about decorating. He's bitching about this. He's bitching about that. And I had spent 13 years at this point, doing my best to get him to love it and embrace it and step into it. And this is how I chose acceptance of him being just the shit energy I don't want around me at this time of year. I literally told him, if you cannot be in the joy and the positivity and the excitement and the beauty and the family and the closeness and the good of this season, you have to move out of this house from October to January. You can move back right around January 10th. And you need to get out before October 1st. I don't know where you're going to go. I don't know who you're going to live with. I don't know how you're going to do it, but you're not going to fucking be here. So I'm choosing that if you don't like this, fine. But I'm also choosing that you don't get to be a part of none of it. I don't want you at Christmas Eve. I don't want you at Christmas Day. I don't want you here. I don't want you hanging out. I want you to fuck away from me for all 3+ months. That's what I'm going to do to protect my favorite time of the year and not battle with you for 3.5, 4 straight fucking months because you're choosing misery. Your choice. So I chose in that moment to accept. I love how you brought this today, Julie. Thank you. Inadvertently, right? I chose to accept that he didn't love Christmas, the holidays, the seasons like me. He didn't, double down and just enjoy the energy that the fall and the leaves changing and what they meant and what they symbolized. Like he didn't want to do that. And so I chose to accept that and not ask for it anymore, to not push, to not fight, to not manipulate, to not control, to not battle that anymore. And I put it in his hands. And it was if he chose to stay that he would open those boxes to decorate with a good attitude, that he would help me decorate this house in the energy. We live in a pretty big house. There's a lot of decorations. I started this out by saying we have over 20 boxes with just Christmas decor in it. Okay. And I told him, here are my stipulations for being part of this season with me. And now some people might look at that and go, wow, that's really mean. You wouldn't allow your, no, fuck no. I did it for 13 years. I was done having the time of year that I love being obliterated by a fucking grump for no apparent reason. No reason. You got some triggers, you got some traumas, you got some demons, you got some burdens that we need to work through. Let's roll. But if you want to show up and just be an ass because you don't like it, you can go for a few months. Right? So he chose to rise. And man, is decorating not so fucking amazing. And now my kids don't want anything to do with it. And my 18-year-old is pretty much moved out of the house, and my 15-year-old didn't participate at all. And if I wouldn't have had Daniel's shifted attitude and perspective, I would have spent this year decorating by myself for the first time in my entire life. But he chose to rise, and me choosing to accept but also enforce boundaries, he made a choice. And it might seem like, well, you gave him no other choice. I mean, we would have still seen each other, but I wasn't going to have him around me for the majority of it. If he couldn't get his shit together for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and, going out for hot chocolate and the festivities, I don't want that around me. I don't give a fuck if that you're my partner and my kids' father. I don't have to accept your shitty fucking energy because you're my partner or my kid's father. See, that's another thing that I think is a misconception. When we talk about choosing acceptance, you can also choose what you don't accept. There is nothing in this world that gives someone a automatic pass to being an active part of your life, being with you day in and day out, experiencing life with you day in and day out, regardless of how the fuck they show up. There is nothing. There's no automatic pass for anyone in my world. That is, I don't give an automatic pass for my mother or my children or my friends or my partner, because I'm not willing to give automatic passes and accept bullshit back from people that I put everything into. Hear me. I'm not willing to accept bullshit back from people that I put everything into. I pour everything into these people. The least you could do is put on a fake fucking smile for the month of December. Least you could do is put on a fake fucking smile while we decorate for 2 days or 3 days inside the house. And while you're pissed off decorating outside, I don't have to listen to your mouth. But when you come back through that door, don't you let me know you're pissed. Fake it. I don't give a shit, right? I choose not to accept that. So as much as this conversation is the secret to choosing acceptance, it's also choosing what you won't accept and throwing it down like, here's your choice. I've done everything I could over the last 13 years for us to be on the same page with this. And now I choose not to accept the attitude you bring. Now I choose not to accept the energy that you bring. Now I choose to say, if that's how you're going to be, I'll spend this time alone. Or I'll spend this time by myself with the children, right? So again, Julie, that was not what I was going to talk about today, but thank you for bringing that perspective, because that was a moment where I chose to accept how he showed up, but I also chose to accept what I love and what connects with me and what lights me up. And I was going to choose me no matter what. At the end of the day, I'm going to choose my joy no matter what. See, you don't need notes. Well, I like one-liners, I like something to fucking say. I absolutely don't need notes. I used to do all of these sessions off the cuff, every single one of them. I had no notes. I would always do that. But then I realized when you are running multiple businesses, doing everything off the cuff takes so much energy that I realized I needed to at least have some one-liners if it was a long day, or Mondays lately have been just a nightmare. So I always like to make sure I have some. I truly don't need notes though. I learned a long time ago from Tony Robbins that the best speakers can speak from the heart, keep the audience connected, and transform their life. And he explained, I don't know, in some fucking audio that, it's just about um, practicing doing it off the cuff, listening to your intuition, feeling into it. And I go through these cycles of mapping out things with outlines and then saying, fuck it, I'm just going to do all this for my soul. And then mapping it out with outlines and then all of it for my soul. I go through these cycles with everything. And it's so interesting. I think the more that I business coach, the more the soul healing division gets more mapped, because on the business side, I don't tend to do cuff because I'm doing my best to give practical steps instead of the, higher level. But anyways, I digress from that. Thank you for that. Yeah, this is me too, though. Julie says, I love this season, but I always say I'm starting early and slam it's here and nothing has done. You know what? I do that too. Like people buy gifts for their family all year long. I'm like, I'm gonna do that. Oh my God, I'll be goddamned if we aren't usually a week before Thanksgiving, a week before Black Friday, where I haven't bought shit every single year. And you know what? This year I was like, fuck it. Here's me choosing acceptance, right? It's whatever. Every single year, what people are meant to get and have, they get and have. What they're not meant to get and have, they don't have. Like, I'm damn tempted to have Christmas in 2025 and beyond to be some sort of like trip for my in-house. When I say in-house family, but Ronan has a girlfriend, I have another partner. So for us 6 people, and that's fucking it. You have to have your own spending money, but here's your trip. This is what we get for Christmas. I've done these like really cool subscription boxes. I loved that gift because it was so it gave all year long. Like I got Stratton a sock subscription for a year. I got Ronan a book subscription for a year. One year I got each of them like sports boxes, and I switched them halfway through the year when their seasons changed. So at this time of year, they both got basketball boxes. But then when basketball was over, one got a baseball box and one got a football box for a whole year. And it was like, gear and stuff for football and basketball and baseball and just really, really, really cool shit like that. And it was all year long. So instead of, they got other gifts for Christmas, but really that was like a $700 gift, but it lasted all year long. And one of the things it did was, one, stop me from having to, or coming out of pocket $500 to $1,000 per child, let's say, and right now, and have a gift all year long. So that's a really cool thing. So for anybody, like, you guys got people to buy for, think about a subscription box. I get it. Kids are expecting, a tree to have a whole bunch of gifts underneath. So I used to tend to wrap all their clothes separately, all their necessities separately. For a few years, Santa brought fucking socks and underwear and stockings. I just kind of hit this point was like, Christmas is cool, but this isn't what it's about. I'm going to show you what it's about. I've been showing you, but I'm going to re-show you, sort of thing. I don't know. I love the idea that I gave a few minutes ago about writing letters to everyone. How cool would that be? There's no better gift than that. Huh. Maybe that's what everybody will get. A letter and a fuck you. I'm just kidding. I'm actually way too sweet for that. I know it's hard to believe. So acceptance is not defeat. Choosing to accept things is not defeat. And choosing not to accept things, let's put that here, because choosing not to accept things is not guilt. And I'm going to leave it like that. Because it's like, okay, so I'm choosing to accept this. Fuck it. It's what it is. And this is like whole, defeat. But when you choose not to accept something, you default to feeling guilty. Because why would you choose not to accept something and fucking own it? Like hell, yes. Why would you choose not to accept something and own it? That'd be too easy, right? That would be too empowering, right? That would be too valuing, honoring, and respecting of yourself, right? To just choose not to accept something and let someone else decide what they're going to do with it? Or choose to accept something and not be a victim over it? Hmm. See, both sides have both levels or both dualities. So Julie says, I choose not to accept things with feelings of guilt. So we rewrite that powerfully, right? I choose acceptance with full honor, value, and respect of myself and others. I say this all the time now. You guys will hear me say it all the time. Value, honor, respect, love of myself and other people. Value, honor, respect, and love of myself and other people. Value, honor, and respect, and love of myself and other people. You will hear me say it over and over and over on the podcast in these sessions. Why are you hearing this a lot lately? Because what I'm realizing is everything comes down to either value, honor, love, and respect of yourself and other people, or in there is one of those that aren't mapped, or all of them, or are not being lived, or all of them. So maybe you aren't, or maybe you are devaluing, dishonoring, disrespecting, not loving yourself and others. Or maybe you're doing all of them except for you're devaluing. Maybe you're doing all of them except for maybe you're disrespecting. Maybe you're doing all of them except for maybe you're dishonoring, or whatever, right? Everything comes down to that. When I'm feeling like my feelings are hurt, when I am feeling angry, when I am feeling fuck this, when I am feeling fuck you, I can draw them all back to value, honor, love, and respect. One of those is fucked up, or all of them are. And first and foremost, of how I give to myself. And then secondarily, then how I show up for other people. Okay? Keep that in mind. So that's your rewrite powerfully, Julie. My partner Graham always says, what is it, that thing that you say to me when I say stuff that is negative? Powerful phrasing. That's it, he says. Powerful phrasing. Always remember to phrase things powerfully so that you can stand into that power for learning, for healing, for growth, and for the evolution and transformation of you. So if you do something really shitty and you want to do it better, you don't want to say it in a negative way. You want to say it with powerful phrasing, okay? Powerful phrasing equals lasting transformation. Powerful phrasing equals lasting transformation. Acceptance, remember, is not defeat, okay? It's the starting point of all positive change and authentic growth. The starting point for all authentic change, positive change and authentic growth. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is fighting reality creates suffering. I do this thing that annoys the shit out of me. And as the days go on, I'm getting more and more and more and more annoyed with myself that I do this. And this is what I do. I tell you how I feel. Then I explain that from multiple angles to make sure there's no confusion. Then I express how bad it impacts me and the level that it fucks me up and the disconnection it causes in the relationship. And then I voice the frustration of all of that and how it also leads to this and this and this and this. And then I continue to compound that. So when you say or do something that hurts me or frustrates me, devalues, dishonors, disrespects, or shows me that you don't love me or that I don't matter, I flood. And as I'm flooding, my stomach is constricting. My breath is tightening. My body starts vibrating at this state. And I don't feel good. And I'm not calm. And I feel like I'm amping up. And guess who's doing it to me? Me. Because during this time, the other person has no time to respond, whether it's text, on the phone, or in front of each other. They have zero time to respond because I'm flooding. And as I flood, I'm escalating. And as I escalate, I get more and more mad at the person. But they haven't had a chance to respond yet. They haven't had a chance to AUA. They haven't had a chance to just understand, ask questions, which again is AUA. Like, they haven't had a chance to help the situation at all because I haven't shut the fuck up. I hate that. That's me fighting. That's me fighting for myself. That's me fighting to protect myself. That's me fighting for the other person to not fuck this up when they do respond. It's me fighting for the other person to not say or do something that erodes our relationship and puts more of a barrier between us than whatever this is in this moment. It's me fighting for our future and our love. It's me just fucking fighting. And then I get mad because they don't fight. I get mad because I make all the effort. I get mad because I'm the one that does all of this. So what the fuck am I with you for? Or why are you my friend? Or why the fuck am I making this effort? Because I'm doing it all, right? Now, I think some people would call that a narcissist. But what I call that is someone who, for no matter what, they don't want the worst case scenario from that situation. They want the best case scenario. They want the person to know how they feel. There's no misconception. By the way, I'm with 2 Geminis. And one thing you got to know about Geminis is those motherfuckers will find loopholes with everything. With everything. Every commitment that they give you that they break, they will find a loophole in why they broke it. Everything they say that they will do, that they don't do, they will tell you why they didn't do it. Every hurt that they cause you, that is clear that why it was caused, they will defend it to their fucking death. So let me be very clear about something. I have not always been this way. I was trained this way by my lovely Gemini, Daniel, to fight for myself at all costs. And to fight for the relationship at all costs. And to fight for him to have the right response so that we can actually heal and not go to cyclic destruction. At the time, I didn't know that that's what it was, though. So when we talk about fighting reality creates suffering, I swear to God, I'm the epitome of this. I am literally the epitome of this. And it annoys me. It makes me so fucking mad at myself. Because I deserve better, but I can't get better because I'm in the fucking way. But I want better. And now I'm mad because I'm not getting better, but I'm not getting better because I won't get the fuck out of the way. Yeah, I'm telling you about me. Now, I'm a brilliant person. I know that I've grown by leaps and bounds. You see, I can come here and I can tell you what annoys the fucking shit out of me that I do and why I'm pissed off and why I'm frustrated with myself. And I can also be fucking proud of me. I hold that duality for myself all the time because I am not one to beat up myself and feel sorry for myself and live in victimhood because I'm human. But I can tell you that this dichotomy, I'm so fucking sick of. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of being mad at someone and not just mic dropping. I'm a woman of powerful words. I can say exactly what I need, what I mean, how I feel, and fucking drop that mic, but I'll be goddamned if I don't come back and pick it up again. Like, it's so annoying. So annoying. Like, why do you do that? You just mic dropped. Ball's in their court. What the fuck are they going to do with it? Oh, and another thing. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, and another thing. Ugh. Hate that. Okay. Julia says, that's me. Don't go in there. Mom is snowballing and you don't want to be next. Laugh my ass off. Exactly. Yeah. And don't even get me started on if someone else comes into my space when I am flooding with someone else. Oh, I've had to work so hard on not redirecting that pissed offery to someone else. Now, imagine having two partners that are both Geminis, and they are a lot different, but they are a lot of like. I would say a lot of where their weaknesses are, they match up more often than not. So imagine if this partner is doing something and we're not in the same physical space. Let's say we're texting, and that partner walks into my physical space. I have had to work so hard to not redirect that, but this was well before I had two partners. I had to learn not to do that when I was pissed off at my children and redirect it to Daniel, or pissed off at Daniel and not redirect it to my children, or pissed off at my mom and not redirect. Like, it doesn't matter. I had to learn how to not redirect that frustration. And for the most part, I've mastered that. Thank fucking God. Yeah, and then this, Julie says, then I make myself sick because of the way I handled it. And you know what, though? The one thing that I have shifted from is, well, let me rephrase. I used to never feel bad for anybody and the wrath that they got from me, the flooding, the snowballing, all of that. I didn't give a fuck how it affected them. I definitely, in the baseline of my personality, had this kind of ego, arrogant attitude. Like, if you made the choices to show up like that, knowing who the fuck I am, then you deserved whatever the fuck you got from me. I am not sorry. I never pretend to be someone different than what I am. And you fucking knew by the way that you showed up that I was going to respond that way. Because I am working my ass off on this, but I am very much so a human. That is, you decide how we're going to act. And that is so me. I am not a high road. I'll take the high road. I'll shut my mouth until I gather what I want to say. Person. I'm like, oh, we're going to go there? Let's go. I'll say this all the time. This is my new phrase. I'm loving it, by the way. I'm feeling very happy about this, if you can't tell based on my face. Now, if my partners are acting like we're going to do this courtroom thing, you know, and we're going to state our case, and we're going to throw it down, and we're going to do this, I say, I always come really prepared to win. So if that's how you want to do this, just know you better bring your A game. That's what I say. Because if this is what you want to do, I always come prepared to win. I come with my proof. I come with my examples. I come with social proof. I come with testimonials. I come with it all, people. We're going to throw down, and I come to win, always, right? It's bad. That's bad. It's bad, but whatever. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm still working. I can't wait until we launch Choice Love, you guys. Because when we launch Choice Love, you're going to be able to hear from Daniel and Graham. You guys only ever hear, for the most part, my perspectives. And it just sounds like these two men just like sit there and they don't have anything to offer. And that, you know, they're just taking. But this is not how it runs. If you know any Geminis, they don't sit back and take nothing. They're sarcastic. They bite back. They have snide things. They are the kings and queens of making you the brunt of jokes in groups of people, but they also are life of the party. They are also the people that bring up the room. They are also the people who never give up. They're really, really cool fucking humans. And they drive me crazy. Yes, we will always be growing and learning. And so today I'm showing you my ass. This should be the podcast episode this week, and maybe it will be the podcast episode this week. You never know. We might be doing 2 podcast episodes this week, or 3 podcasts that I missed last week. Last week I said, fuck it. Fighting reality. Where are we at? Fighting reality creates suffering. I made a commitment to myself today. It's really fucking funny how this all lines up in my journaling session. I made a commitment to myself today, and that was this. I am going to state my feelings. I am going to state my boundaries. I'm going to state what I will and will not accept if it's the first time. If this is any subsequent time, I will say, you are whatever it is. Is it devaluing? That's what I'm going to say. Is it dishonoring? Then that's what I'm going to say. Is it disrespecting? Then that's what I'm going to say. Is it showing me that they don't care? Then that's what I'm going to say. If it's all of it, I'm going to say all of it. Me, these things. And I don't accept that. We are a relationship that da 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 da. And then I'm going to add in the power of us, because this usually happens with partners. At the end of the day, the rest of the people in my life, these aren't the types of conversations we have, because they don't have that kind of, they don't have that kind of, I don't know what the word is, importance in that state. It doesn't matter if it's my mom, my friends, my kids, they don't have the importance in that state. If it's my children, they have a little bit more, but your partners are the people that you grow old with. The kids are off living their life. That's the fucking person you're like talking to and doing life, and that's your companionship. That's the relationship that's the hardest. I always tell people, I think that being married or in a long-term relationship is the hardest thing you'll ever fucking do. Raising children is not that for me. And when I say raising children, I mean raising children who, they're not autistic or they don't have Down syndrome or anything like that. Just raising fucking kids is not, like, it's not even on the same level as a long-term relationship. And one of my children pushed every fucking boundary I had. So yeah, fighting reality creates suffering. I'm going to mic drop. And then I have a thing that I created called Protect My Energy Protocol. This is a little bit of a long life, but I don't give a shit. So let me tell you about this morning. I sent the sweetest goodnight message to Graham. It was so sweet last night. And it was part of our 12-month anniversary. Duh. When he writes me back, it's fucking shit. His response was shit. There was no effort. There was no fucks given. He didn't even address any of the cool shit that I said. But you know what he did say? Oh my God. Sometimes I just don't know how smart men are. I wish he was here. I wish he was here for this, because he said, I'm glad that I could do that. I could do all of that for us. You what? Now? You what now? Man. I mic dropped about 4 times. Dropped it, picked it up, dropped it, picked it up, dropped it, picked it up. It takes him a while to write back because he's working, thank God. So I can go back through and delete all my drops and hold my power. And he knows why I'm deleting. I've already explained this. Delete, and I actually copied them onto my notepad because they are things that I want to talk to him about, but I don't want to do it in a flooding manner. Okay, I want to do it in a controlled manner so we can have a conversation. Okay, see, because flooding is legitimate. It's just, it needs to be one thing at a time so that you can come to completeness or then go to the next step. The things you're flooding on are legitimate, but they're not good to all come out at one time. Okay. So, and actually, let's just go ahead and keep this up on the screen. So, this, like, fucking, the first thing I thought was fucking Mercury retrograde, because I was so irritated by this. So, flood, mic drop, mic drop, mic drop, mic drop. I think I dropped 3, 4 mics, and then I went back and deleted them. And I put in brackets what this did, because I had one message that I really liked. You guys see how long it is? I had one message that I really liked. I felt like I held my power. It was in value, honor, and respect and love of myself and him. Boom, it was good. And then I flooded and I deleted those. But then I wrote a couple more that were a little more understanding, but not in a flood. And it took him for fucking ever to write back. Well, it really wasn't that. Well, it was 2 hours, but I get it. I know why it's taken him forever to write back. Man! Do you know how hard it was? I picked up my phone 15 times to bitch him out some more. The power it took, the self-control that it took to let my last mic drop be the mic drop was a nightmare. But I did it. Okay? And I made the commitment to myself that I'm going to mic drop. I'm going to walk away. Oh, that's what I was telling you. Protect My Energy Protocol. For those of you guys that are inside of my world, soul alignment program, soul shift program. If you join us for the Q1 soul treat, you're going to learn this protocol. You got to learn this protocol. So you will learn this, but I created it. And this is what I did to protect them from me and me from me and me from them. I pinned to the top of our text message, remember, protect my energy protocol. And I pinned it there and I keep it as the front pin. Why do you think I did that? I did that when my head was clear because I knew that if I got pissed off, I would forget about it because I had it already mapped out in my notes on my phone. And then I created a new one, and I was so proud I created a new one, but then I was going through my notes and I already had another one that was badass. But I had forgot about it. And this protocol is bomb. That's what made me delete those messages today. I looked up and it said, protect my energy protocol. And I went, do I really need to protect my energy right now? Do you think that that's what's okay? So I deleted the messages, fixed my shit, jumped off. I followed my protocol. Pretty much for the 2 hours that he was gone. I was focused on my protocol instead of focused on lighting him the fuck up. I just reshifted my focus. And I had to remind myself that no matter what he wrote back, I still got to protect my energy. I still got to take it, stay in flow. I still got to do for me. And he wrote back something brilliant. So what I wanted to do is be like, oh my God, thank you. No. Hold. You brought up something in there that I actually have a mic drop on. So I said, let's talk about, put it in quotes, go to my notepad, take that bitch, mic drop it again. Added a couple little extra things, and that's where I'm at. Put my phone on mindfulness so I can't see the responses when I'm busy doing something else. And I feel so empowered. The mic drops aren't mean. The mic drops are not degrading and demeaning and aggressive and attacking. So when I say the mic drops, okay, they're not mean. They are me stating clearly the boundary that has been obliterated and at what point of value, honor, respect, and love that's fucking with for me and why that causes disconnection. Not why, but obviously they would know why, but how them doing that impacts me. That's how I'll verbalize it, right? Or not doing it, depending. When it comes to men, it's usually what they're not doing more than what they are doing, right? Fighting reality creates suffering. Don't be like me. And if you are like me, learn from me, Julie. Learn from me. Peace begins the moment that we accept what is while choosing how we respond. Woo! See, this is why I have notes. Because I say some badass things, but I write some badass things. And we need to write and say badass things, right? Peace begins the moment that we accept what is while choosing how we respond. Okay, I did a really fucking phenomenal good night message, and you didn't give a fuck. Really? You didn't in the way that you showed up. That's what is. How do I want to respond? Well, I want to make sure you feel the way you made me feel. That does nobody any good. So how do I want to respond? I want to make sure that this is the first and last time that this happens. And that if it happens again, all I need to do is give him a little reminder and the ball's back in his court and I move on with what I'm doing. See, I waste a lot of time, energy, and power proving to someone else that the way that they treated me, I'm better than. Well, guess what? If you have to prove to someone that you're better than, then they don't deserve you. You should be able to say what you need to say and share how you feel. And they should be able to go into that information and do what they need to do with it. And if they take that information and they shit on you, and then they don't value, honor, and respect and love you with that information, then fuck them, period. And that's the thing that I'm learning. I've spent my whole life proving. I spent my whole life convincing people that I deserve this or I'm this person, that who you see me as or how you view me isn't the whole story. It's what you've concocted, or that the way that you treat me is at such a lower level of the woman that I am and how hard I've worked and the woman that I've become. I spend so much of my life and time proving myself. And I can't do that anymore because it destroys me and it destroys them. And it's so hard for me my whole life, and not just in relationships. I've done it everywhere my entire life. And it's how I felt that I was worth something my whole life, with my mom, with my brother, with my history, like everything. And now I know that 2025 is about me just standing in that and mic dropping as the badass that I am. And everybody else has to see that. And those who don't have to go. Like, but also I have to see that. Like, I don't need to prove myself, right? I don't need to earn the love or earn the friendship or earn whatever it is. I can just be me and receive that. I don't have to earn that. There's nothing I need to do. There's no proving and forcing and manipulating and controlling, because all of that means that whatever you're doing that for isn't worth it. And why you're doing it needs to be healed. So I've been struggling with what the podcast theme is going to be for season 4. And Sam Smith has a song called Love Me More. And last night I was in my bath and I had my phone in a completely other room, and that song came on, and I've heard it so many times. And it is exactly what the theme of the podcast is going to be for 2025. So when we launch the podcast around my 41st birthday in April of 2025, it'll be about love me more. So when you read that and you hear that, it's you're saying love me more. And when I say it, I'm saying love me more. So when we look at this podcast and we listen to this podcast and we feel this podcast, it's about loving me more, whoever the me is who's saying that. And I can't wait, because I realize that a lot of what I do and a lot of how I show up is the opposite of loving me more. It's killing me, I guess, in a way. It's destroying the beauty, the progress, the everything that I've done. It disconnects me. It unaligns me from myself. It causes issues. And I'm done with it. No more fighting reality. I'm just going to mic drop and then take care of me. And I hope you guys will come along with me on that. I hope that you will buy into the love me more motto, and that 2025 for you is about loving you more as well. But you're saying love me more. Ugh, fucking hate crying. Man, this is like an episode of This Is Us. You laugh, you cry, you're angry. Some chapters in our lives need to be accepted, not understood. Ugh. I'm a woman who seeks to understand so that I can grow always. So this is rough for me. It's like, I want to understand it so I can learn more. I want to understand it so that I can grow. I want to understand it so I can be better. I want to understand it so I can be a better version of myself for myself and those in my life. But I do realize that it can't always be that way. Although I haven't accepted that yet. I realize that it can't always be that way. But what I also realize is the second part of this, and that is not everything will make sense right away. So it's like right now, it might not be able to be understood. And it's about surrendering and accepting what is. But the other side of that is you will understand what its purpose was for if you hold space for that information to come to you, instead of working towards finding it, manipulating it, controlling it. putting your logical mind in there, right? The practicality in there. You just surrender it and say, please show me what I need to know from this. Please show me what I need to see from this. And please help me understand what it is that I'm meant to learn so I can grow and heal and evolve into the next level version of me. So remember, love me more and say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. It is always about progress, not perfection. And you must give yourself way more grace than you give everyone else because the world needs who you were made to be. So show up every single fucking day as the badass you are and slay. I'm Power Coach Alicia, and we'll see you next time. Bye.